Notice that most of the old sheets here that we taken out from the old house has been gone, because what I heard is there's a barangay wars, you know, that they locked their borders here on the way to another barangay, locked their borders, so our people here in this barangay can't go through because there's one unconfirmed case on this barangay, and the next barangay is panicking, won't let our neighbors go through the road. So since we got loads of rubbles here from the old couple's house, they also barricade our entrance here so that barangay cannot pass through here. So you know, like the scene of The Walking Dead, it's now like that they have a door that only the vehicle can go through, but they have to check first if you are not from this barangay, just because of that one unconfirmed case, in which the result will be taken on Friday if it's really COVID. And that's the thing that we have to put up with, is these rumors. They're rumor mongering, and it's affecting the people. The barangay captain should take in charge. The people itself is the one doing the barricade, not understanding that it's still unconfirmed, but you cannot blame them that they are so precautious. But all the rubbles and the sheets that we taken out from the old house has been used as barricade against the barangay wars. This is day 53 today on my budget bungalow build. I wasn't able to do the last check yesterday, day 52, because I was rushing home and still didn't able to reach them when they finish. And so I just went there quickly. So today I'll be having day 52 / day 53 on this video today for the budget bungalow build. And I was surprised by the amount of reaction of people on my video, telling me on comments and emails on how they've been conned out of their investment. Some of the horror stories, they tell me how they've been conned out of their money by trusting the wrong people. So I know it exists. Although I got a comment that from a OFW that he got no problem when he built his house and he buy his land. Well, I'm happy for you. When I bought my first land with my auntie, it was not a happy experience. And then since on, I had several plots. You got some happy experience, you got some bad experience. But things like this, I want to share, because you don't want a lot of foreigners be conned in here. You know what I mean? I don't want us Filipinos to have the reputation that is only con, because it's not true. There are good deals as well. But it's just like in any other countries, there are things that happen that's beyond our control. Some are beyond our imagination that it can happen, that even the mayors, a lot has been on the scam. So you hear that from the actual people that has experienced that. So might as well warn the future people that's interested to buy properties or retire here, not buy properties, retire here in the Philippines, so they will be aware. So I'm here now on the build. Let's see what they've done. So they are here now on the rendering. Tony just joined them in because it's like he done all the frames so they can install it this afternoon. So he just helped on the last half hour before lunch. So like I said, a day don't go by or I can't get any email or comment from people who wants to retire here in the Philippines, as they are fed up with their own home countries. So for the feedback that I received, when I was thinking about building the same size bungalow, but the bedrooms will be two, and the third one will be a nice bathroom, shower, and all tiled. I got a higher budget, the double the amount of what the bungalow is costing me. And the amount of feedback I heard is very positive, because if I have to build three two-story house, that will be more expensive than I have to build 9 one-story bungalow on that lot that I have in there, where I will be building the road soon. So you can see, I will be able to build 9 bungalows here, one level story. And it will also mean that building 9 will mean that I won't get involved with the HLURB, which is the House and Land Regulatory Board. So with the area here, 1,700 square meter, I will be able to put in 9 bungalows, and they have a space around them as their own garden, and I will just be renting it out for foreigners, because Filipinos have a lot of option if they want to rent here, but some are Filipinos have a lot of options when they rent here because they know the place, they come from the place, but the foreigners are limited to what they can rent. I mean, for their safety, value for money. So I'm thinking, when I build my 9 bungalows here, which that is now going through my mind, that I think I'll just have to make 9 bungalows instead of what I first original planned of 3 two-story house and rent it out for $500 a month. Whereas with the 9 bungalows, renting at 10,000 pesos a month, and a lot of feedback that is a good idea. In fact, some says that they will rent it from me. So the 9 bungalow rented out to foreigners is what's going through my mind now, and I will have a word with my architect to draw out the plans so we can now process the building permits for the bungalows. Using one-story house is much easier. Now know where the requirements if I'm building a 2-story house. Definitely not the same requirement if I'm building a 3-story house, because a 3-story house require a soil test that is notarized to avoid it being done retrospectively. So a retrospective notarized soil test is needed for a 2-story house, and because to avoid people complaining prior to your building, because you are already building without that. Once somebody complain, you might get penalized up to the value of your build. So to avoid all that, I had to comply when I was building my castle with all the soil tests. It's done by the Bureau of Lands, and it is approved. My castle was approved for a 4-story house. So I just stuck to the 2-story level because there's only 3 people that's gonna be living in that house. Why do I need 9 bedrooms? I build a guest house instead beside it. So thanks for the feedback. I'll also buy Susan that there will be a communal areas where the renters can meet, and then they can have a little community that they can protect each other. I'm here to protect you as well, of course. But I will be providing you the local services for your laundry or any cleaning. And it's only a bungalow. I don't plan to furnish it, but I will give you the options before you come here, if you want the furnitures bought at your own expense, or if you want it rented out. So I think the best way is to rent it out long term, like 6 months to a year. A year will be the better one. But I still have to finalize this all. I definitely like this idea because it'd be easier for me for requirement wise for the building permits, and also I think it will be easier to rent out based on the comments and the emails that I receive, that they even want to rent it out themselves. So if this project from here, 9 more plots, I got other land that soon be platted out, I could just make another community like that, rent it out to foreigners where they have a communal area. They can meet and talk. Looking at the view, I will be providing areas where they will be meeting one another and looking at the view, talk, have coffee, while they have their own separate bungalows, not connected to each other but with space in between gardens. And I think this is a good idea. And my budget, like I said, will be double what I have spent on this budget bungalow to have better finish, tile, and metal trusses roof, long span roof, better materials than I used in the budget bungalow. And of course, better design here on the placement to be able to maximize the view. So back here, so they are on the rendering, and then this afternoon I told them to install the frames that Tony has made, so that will be installed. So here they are doing the rendering. Because sometimes I had to stop what I'm talking. Sometimes, like mid-sentence, because there's some rocks, nails that I have to go over. And in here, you got loads of rubbles. Of course, there's loads of nails poking out or any metal poking out that I have to be careful of. So, you just have to understand that. So, hopefully, there'll be more to be done later. So that's the view that you can see above there, where the land that I plan to build those bungalow is. And then if you see on the left side, you can see my house there, my castle there. So that will be, I'm actually on for that kind of plan, and getting the positive feedback from most of the viewers. I think that's the plan that I go for. And also it will be good that the foreigners that's gonna be renting on my bungalows will have their own common area overlooking the view, where they can share stories with their neighbors. So I have to strategically put the bungalows in locations that will maximize the views, so it will be more more nicer to look at. Like from the road, there's some here where the first line of bungalows in here, and then on the side, and then there's the common area. It's not so much, you can see the width of it if you're looking it from here, but it's very hot. So I'm here on this house of my friend looking at the build. You can see how hot it is. So imagine this size of house, 54 square meter. That will be down there, about 9 of them. So I think, yeah, that will be the good plan. I'll start the process of it. Going back down to check on my budget bungalow build, day 53. This is my second check of the day. Someone asked me about how to get the permit for this wall that I made for my castle here. I'll talk about it later on because I have to get a video about the bungalow. A few is asking because I was not able to do it yesterday, and about the permits that you gotta do. It's only a simple process. It can be included with your OBO, but I'll discuss it with detail in another video. The mistake that they made about my height of the lintels and the size of the door has been rectified. So now the 5 doors that we're just gonna make, we're gonna make 5 flush doors, and we also made a frame. Will now cost me less than 5,000 pesos, which is like a blessing in disguise anyway. Now that we have discussed that we just have to rectify it like this instead of upheaval of chipping it all again, which will take a little bit longer. Even the old woman there, she's not been very well because she got kneecap problems and hip problems, and being sentimental that first time in my life I got a nice house and I don't want to die yet. You know, I just want it all finished so I could enjoy it. Which I feel the same. I had enough of this. I want it all done. So hopefully, almost there. I could go back also to my pricing videos because my repository of videos that when I ask at this lockdown, I just look at my videos, serves me as well. What are the prices of this and what I know where to get it. I was gonna do an upgrade to all my pricing videos. Now that I have shown personality and different techniques and improved my pricing video as well. So let's see how they're doing here. They are now installing the first door frame. As you can see, they have just put some nails on the side of the whole frame because that's where the cement will be holding. And they will still have to trim the bottom part because it's a bit higher because it has to go under the lintel. So there they can see. They still be framing it up. Check out to the lawyer outside. I'll check him out. That's how we are for the rendering. The lawyer has really learned how to render, and it makes the lawyer forced to learn. Although he do have an idea, but he's just scared to try because somebody else is there, have to do it. But now that we're stuck to who we have, he's forced to have to do his skills. But look at this, he's getting faster. At first he was slow, but he's getting faster. He's learning the mix. He's learning how to put it in. And like I said, we're not buying for the award-winning render. Anything that protects the blocks, the infill hollow blocks, should be protected so it will not be powdered. and then he will be done. Then I said, you just clean up the corner. Doesn't need to be this one here. Doesn't need to be squared. Then we can move on. So that's good enough for me. They have been living on a house with no rendering, and this is a gift to them. So whatever is better than your old house, you should be thankful. Yeah, I've gone over budget, but I've recovered from it now. I think it was my fault for putting the budget so high. I mean, rather so low, which is 200,000. But like old B was saying to me, a few thousands over budget doesn't make a difference to him. That's nothing to him, as long as the old couple is happy with it. They're safe. We know the bungalow is strong. And I've learned a lot of lessons from here, which is what things that I cannot learn in a university. Another thing Deloy has learned, because he's part of my domestic stuff, that's why I considered him as part of my family, is learn another skill. Also, I make sure that Deloy feels he's the boss around here when I'm not here. So they have to say, oh, Deloy, I've done do this, I'm gonna do that, because make him feel better as well for his self-confidence. But I do make him more in charge of some stuff. But I still gonna check over it. But I do like him to take charge, especially the materials or the work. I tell him at night, because I'll wake him up in his house sometimes and tell him I have plans change and this is what we're gonna do. Then she'll be the one telling the workers to give him that authority. But I'm happy with what he done here. This is just like the finished product of Predo's rendering. So I don't think. Do you think I need Predo back now that Deloy can do it? That's what I'm thinking. Because Predo also had an offer of another job from another contractor that we have here. Because we got a few contractors that do building works around here. And he used to have to work in one. So, yeah. This is what we are, day 53. This is now the end part of this side. And only after the cleaning of this corner and the squaring of the windows, then it's almost there. So they have installed the first frame, the first door frame that they have made. They have installed it, and then now just fill up the cracks on the wall that where the nails have been connected. So they will just square it up, then it's done. And also clean up the rubble on the bottom because they have to chip some of it to make sure that it's in. And have you noticed that this is quite wider than the other doors here, because this is 70 and that's 80. That's where the old couple sleeps, across the toilet. So but at least it's there, now it's all squared in. So the usage for today is 3 sacks of cement for fine sand. That's including the one that they frame up there in the door. So tomorrow, either he goes where the inside of the dirty kitchen to render that, or this smoothing out the corners here. So that is what's done for today. Day 53.